Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to Oceania Long No Tournament number 4. We are back after a short little break at the top of the hour, 16 UTC, which means we have another match, and it is going to be a loser's bracket match. Actually, it is going to be DarkMew2 versus Aero, also known as Manuel Chi. Two players that I believe was knocked in the losers bracket. No, okay, I was about to say both in round of 64, but DarkMew2 was knocked by Spanner Dude, also known as Ting Momentum, in round of 32, while Aero got knocked in round of 64 against Plana. So Aero does have a bit of experience in that losers bracket, but these two players don't really need much of an introduction. DarkMew2, a top French player, Aero, top United States player. It is going to be one fun match. As always, I am Arasani, and commentating along with me is going to be none other than Yongin.
Hello, I'm back. It's us again for the second time.
You thought you could get rid of us, but no.
No, we are always here, and yep, it will be DarkMew2 versus Aero, and it's gonna be an extremely rough match for Aero. Last weekend, he did win up the match by a very slight margin, by a 5-4 tiebreaker victory. It was a very close match, and it's gonna be congratulations to him, but now he's going to be facing an even tougher opponent, DarkMew2. I myself, because I'm not from Mania after all, so I have not heard of DarkMew2 before this tournament, but seeing some of their scores, they are really strong in this game, especially last weekend against Spanner Dude, which is Ting Momentum, one of the few players that I even know. He able to at least score some points off against Ting Momentum on some of the density picks as well, so looking like a very strong mechanics player again.
Yes, you should have a bit of fear in your eyes if you're going up against a player who managed to take off a point from one of the greats, such as Spanner Dude, one of those key components in the United Kingdom Mania World Cup roster that just concluded earlier this month, actually, and they had a remarkable run, I believe, knocked in the finals there. And Spanner Dude, also known as Ting, with a few other players that are most likely in this tournament, did pull up a very solid effort in that. But anywho, DarkMew2 going to opt for that coordination to protect, while Aero going to keep our OSU, or not, I was about to say OSU original, OMLN original up on the board here. Density 3 going to be the protect, so Aero looking probably more in that density range, while DarkMew looking to see if they can capitalize off of the more release-based components, but Aero now opting for their first ban.
My correction for my previous statement here, DarkMew2 actually takes not the density point against Spanner Dude. It was a tactical 2 pick. He did some very well in terms of density picks after all, so that's why I'm associating him with like more of a density guy. But he's also did quite well on last week's and then tactical to manage to score off a point against Ting Momentum after all. Ting with a slider break here, so seeing him to protect coordination 2 makes sense. And of course, once again, the weird map, it's gone coordination 1. Definitely gonna be the most fan of this weekend. 4 minutes of low BPM maps. It's not just Mania. In every single mode, everyone hates playing the slow BPM maps, and I'm not surprised that it's gone once again.
Yeah, especially with just more, like, the more slower those maps get, the more you're relying off of more of like just those a lot more slower releases, I would say, instead of like being used to those more faster tempo where the releases aren't as dragging. But we are going to see a Density 2 ban come out from DarkMew, which honestly, out of our 3 density picks, definitely I saw coming. This is probably the hardest one we have out of the 3 when it comes to consistency. But DarkMew now going to opt for Wildcard 3. The next episode, they're going to try to get Wi-Fi anywhere they go here. So let's see this.
Is this again? I don't know why I stare at my eyes as tactical feeds. It's feeling like I really want to see that being back, even because I've never seen it before. But for the third time of this weekend match. The first pick is Snoop Dogg. Every single match I have cast, it starts with Snoop Dogg, and it's the same story again. No need more introductions. This map has been very popular, so does the song. Very freeform, a lot of improvisations, and I would say like weird rolling patterns and release type of stuff. And usually these have like technical stuff. I would say definitely benefits for more on DarkMew2 side. Aero is more of a higher skill cap player, not detailed like weird gimmicky players. So to see how this does, but I would say this map definitely benefits for DarkMew2.
Yeah, I would definitely see that for this pick. As I know Aero, as we get more into these harder picks, they do find a lot more comfort on these more harder picks, not really focusing on more of just the more physical or like just the more independent release based charts. I feel Aero could potentially actually maybe take something off a pick like this, as it is a lot more dense than what we have seen in previous rounds. So I feel this one will be a lot closer, but also you have to take into account just how well DarkMew can act these more abrasive LNs with a lot of these like bursts in between here, lots of these techie LNs. It's kind of a mix of tech and also just these bursty LN section. But DarkMew2 actually gonna pick up a slider break here, or if not a miss, that will give Aero around a 5,000 point lead heading into our draw pretty soon.
Very good opportunity here for Aero. Aero is definitely a player who gets better as the map who goes harder. He's a very high rank player and it shows right here. But here comes the weird part, and I would say the part that probably may trip up Aero a tiny bit here. He still has a 5,000 points difference in the lead due to the combos difference. The miss on DarkMew2 really hurts his scores a lot, and onto this part again, he's gonna be missing one more time on this pick. It looks like the Snoop Dogg strategy is not working out well for them, as Aero has almost built a 5-digit lead, and he is going to be running away on opponent's first pick.
Yeah, I mean, Aero right now is just sheerly that combo carrying them here, as DarkMew, you can see they're only 500% behind here. And with that, DarkMew2 fails to get Wi-Fi anywhere they go, and it came down to the combo, and Aero actually matching up with DarkMew's accuracy, which is a bit scary here. But with that, Aero going to be picking up the first break point of this match here and taking an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, a very good score from Aero. Probably not something I expected from him here. But he pulled off a very good FC, 99.61, and that's all it matters. And despite he said that it's gonna get cooked, and looks like he is the one that is actually cooking so far. Gonna be picking Wildcard 1 as the next pick, and it's gonna be Frums. So is French this map is in French nationals, so he might be picking something that the opponent is more familiar with.
I mean, absolute banger as well. We have to have Frums in this pool at one point. It like almost feels as if this tournament would be incomplete without a Frums pick, as they make absolute bangers. But anyway, here we go on the way with our next pick here. It is going to be Wildcard 1 by Aero, going to try and see if they could capitalize off of what happened on Wildcard 3 here. And I mean, they can do it. I think it's just DarkMew2 needs to find more of those breaks. As we did see, Aero matched up with DarkMew's accuracy, but DarkMew had 2 misses going out of that map. So Aero's accuracy does need to improve just a tad bit if they want to capitalize off of this pick here.
Absolutely. You guys might be wondering why we are not hearing any music. No, it's just the song. The song is very quiet from the start, and it get the BPM that speeds up, and it changed in the second half. But before we head to the density session, we're gonna be already seeing a miss here from DarkMew2. It's not FCing these maps, and it has been hurting his score a lot. This map has a lot of short elements and some rolling patterns and back and forth shields, transitions between rolls and shield after all, and it gets denser and denser. and this actually not denser, but the BPM gets higher. The final 10% of the map is the highest BPM, but it's actually not as dense as OC's some of these sections. Right now we do see an accuracy gain from DarkMew2 and a combo game from aero.
Yeah, even with that slider or that combo break from DarkMew earlier on in the map, they are recovering very well, and it's going to be the same story as we saw from last map, where aero is lacking behind in accuracy in comparison to DarkMew, but it's solely because of their combo game right now that they are still holding this lead, and aero needs to tread with caution now, as DarkMew is a full 10th of a percentage ahead of them. They cannot afford anything to really bring their score down here, and even then, DarkMew, if they build up enough accuracy to gap this lead, I feel that it's slowly starting to hit those triple digits as that lead just continues to grow in accuracy on the side of DarkMew. But as this map does continue on, we are down to our final quarter here, and right now, aero now down to its final 1,000th of a score here, and oh boy, it's going to come down to this ending, where the tempo increase, like you mentioned.
It's gonna get more shield and more dense and more quicker. Can both players go on to the last part of the map? And seemingly aero is gonna be surviving for the last part of the map. He is in the lead by 1,000 points, and he is gonna be securing his break point on the last map. And now 2-0 in the lead in favor of aero, the lower seed player. We did say this player gets better as the pool goes on, and he has been winning these FC battles after all. DarkMew2 just need to not make any strong big mistakes, and he will be able to take this map. But unfortunately, accidents happen, and this accident can be causing his point once again.
The combo game situation is at full force here, and as we continue on, DarkMew2 going to opt for a coordination pick here now. Coordination 2 going to be coming up next. They're protect, actually. So it makes sense you want to go for those protects around the midpoint of the match if you feel comfortable enough, or if you're backed against the wall and you don't really have anything else left to pick. And I feel this is where DarkMew2 feels most comfortable after just exiting 2 wildcard picks. I feel this is just what makes the most sense, as we know that aero does struggle a bit on the release component side of things. Their accuracy, I mean, you can see it in their accuracy. It has depleted a ton when it comes to those more heavy release-based picks. But with DarkMew, it's the complete opposite for them. So I think with this, they could potentially have their shot. Like, this is their best shot on getting on the board here.
Yeah, I believe he should start picking some of these like weirder maps, these technical maps, maybe more benefit towards him. And this map is very weird, and we see it last round, and we might see another miss again. We might see some miss this time, as we have been seeing miss throughout every single map so far. And this was in 4-digit Mania Cup, but this is way harder than that tournament. A lot of tacky anti-flow anchors and shields, in which we already see some of the anchors, and so we'll be shifting towards shield as transition is so easy for player to miss on those patterns. And so far we do see aero dropping a lot of accuracy from these shields, these release, these anchors, these tacky stuff are definitely not his strong point.
Yeah, these very technical releases are really catching up aero, as they're releasing a lot earlier than anticipated here. They are almost down to the 98 range, as DarkMew 99.71. I know they did find a 200 at the beginning of this map. That's why that score lead was kind of flickering back and forth in the opening of the map here. But now we have really settled in now with the first 1,000 of combo here, and aero really struggling on these releases here, as they are just barely hanging on to what's left of their 99 here, while DarkMew 99.73 is already in the 10,000 point caliber, and aero base 99 now pretty much, as we head into a lot more of these shield oriented sections here, and 14,000 points in favor of DarkMew heading into our final quarter.
Yeah, he is falling apart. Some of these weird releases with anchors and shields that's just too tough for him to handle on. There's some of these weird maps, some of these old mapping, the old goats of Juan Cristo, just too hard to handle for some of these newer players, and such a dominant point for DarkMew2. And you see why he protects this picks is exactly his opponent's weakness, and a very strong point. After all, even if he missed now, it's not gonna matter, and it's not gonna be a sweep, and he finally pick up a point, 1-2.
Yeah, you can really see here that even with the FC out from both players, Aero's ratio, although roughly 238 more than DarkMew2, they more than doubled their 200 count, which really heavily weighed down that score for Aero. But okay, what? I don't get this. This is not a good pick. I mean, think this is a good pick for Aero.
This is a very modern type of map. It has a bit of like a weird song, I would say rhythm and such, but still it's a lot more flowy, unlike the last map, which is a lot more anti-throw. Could be a slightly bit of a timing help, but it's not exactly the hardest. I think this was quite a interesting pick from Aero after all. Of course, its density 3 probably would have been a lot better, because going up against something that the opponent just destroyed might not be the best. Especially DarkMew2 really good at these like flowy releases after all.
Yeah, like I don't know how Aero managed to figure out this pick, as we did see on Coordination 2. Their accuracy was very lackluster comparison into DarkMew, but maybe they know something that we don't. And right now, I mean, Aero is definitely on playing this map on the right foot now. They are starting off a lot better than what Coordination 2 looked like. So maybe they do something that we didn't, as this map does pick up in its density more, as more of these releases do come raining down here, that accuracy begins to deplete on the side of Aero. Still though, roughly around 4,000 points in favor of DarkMew2 here, but 0.4% of difference as we head into our second third of the map here.
Second first right now. I would say this map is actually not exactly too far off from Wildcard 3, so I can kind of see why Aero picks it, but this map I would say just has way too many of these like awkward dump mapping, these like double BPM style of songs with like you can put like 1.6 and 1.8 slider patternings and AOM patternings, and it could be these releases could just damage your accuracy by a lot. Onto the second chorus right now. This map is quite consistent throughout the entire way, so might keep the way the lead it is. So they need a miss from DarkMew2 to let Aero take back the lead, or we are back to even pace.
Yeah, DarkMew really slowly but surely running away with this insane lead they have built over, even just with both players on that FC still. Almost 7,000 points in favor of DarkMew, and like you mentioned, we're going to have to see a miss, and just even a bit more than a miss if they want this lead to really swing back in Aero's favor. But right now, these players have been so consistent on a map like this. A lot of these shields raining down there, but there's the break that DarkMew2 that we've been hinting at. But now the real question is there enough map left for Aero to climb back here? And I don't think there is. It looked a bit risky at the end, but DarkMew and Aero trades the break at the very end, so it wouldn't have even mattered.
Oh no! Oh,
and we are now tied at 2.
The FC is gone in the last minute. Unfortunate case for Aero. It could have been an FC here. It would not really matter because of the accuracy difference between the two. But unfortunately, you did not win the style points. You do not have the FC. The opponent missed and you missed too. But he could have won that in terms of style points. At least he is a lot better in these of seemingly like flowy picks. I guess it was just the anti-flow, the awkwardness of CO2 really, carbon dioxide pick really triples Aero. And looking how CO2 went, I think technical one is the best pick for DarkMew2, and as I said, he instantly picks it. This is the final extremely weird pick weird map left. I'll say this pool has 3 weird maps, which is CO1, CO2, and T1. These 3 maps I would say is definitely all favored towards DarkMew2. DarkMew2 not exactly the extremely weird player, but he definitely is a more benefit towards these type of maps, and I would say this map is kind of similar to what we saw on CO2. Very messed up and weird mapping.
Yeah, here we go underway with Kamui here, Tech 1. And yeah, I think this is what will benefit DarkMew as well. As you can already see with this opening, a very release-heavy chart here. You can see lots of these staggered releases rating down here. It's kind of, you can kind of treat it as almost like a coordination 4 kind of pick here, as Aero right off the bat already down in that 98 department. And I mean, we haven't even really got into the main section of this map yet, and right now DarkMew roughly 6,000 points in their favor. But hey, this map just began, but also with that trade-off, this is a very short map. You don't have much time to really climb things back up here, and right now, Aero really struggling to get back up to that 99, but they do end up getting back up here as we head into a staggered release section here. Will anyone slip up here? It is a very tricky section here on those more like long, like those outer column releases, but yeah, inverse here, but no one picking up anything here. And DarkMew almost a full percentage ahead of Aero.
That means it's gonna be a full accuracy game, and Aero is not winning the accuracy game by any shot in the map like this. This is just basically, Sunny, what Sunny said, it's just another coordination pick. That miss is not gonna matter at all from DarkMew2. Aero needs probably at least 2 more misses to even have a chance on this map, and this is what happens when it comes to a weird map. And everyone has been saying that Technical 1 is just kind of like the coordination, the weird coordination pick here. I would say like kind of similar to like Coordination 2, and some even say that it should replace Coordination 3. But yeah, this is what comes about a technical release, and it has been hurting Aero a lot. And look at this lead, it's unsavable, and that is going to be such a dominant pick here from DarkMew2.
Yeah, a very well executed pick on DarkMew, opting for Tech 1 for this pick and absolutely just destroying this map out of the water. 979 with the break. Aero also doing a very solid job as well. 800 to 300s, but also only a 1 miss on this is very solid. 950k from them. Very valiant effort, but it was just DarkMew really winning that ratio battle. And if I was Aero, yeah, I would go for my Protect here. Knight of the Reborn. Pronul, I think? I can't read. The font is so tiny. I need to put my glasses on.
Yeah, it's a custom song. Knight of the Reborn Penelio.
Yeah.
A custom song by Silas and Evil Winter. And this is density 3. Pretty sure Aero's last couple of picks should be based around density 3 and density 1. Custom song starts with a very slow sections, which players have been dropping more accuracy at the start than the actual map, so we might see some horrible accuracy at the start of the map. And this has been the thing, as we do see Aero instantly dropping a 200 at the 190 BPM sections. After that, we're gonna get some transitions between shield and density domes, and even some stairs, and actually no shield, I mean density stairs, and those are easy for players to choke on. But knowing that both of these players are especially Aero, very high speed player, should have no trouble at these stairs sessions. Here we go, the map has started.
Yeah, and I feel this is probably Aero's last resort pick here. A pick like Density 3 would definitely be their most comfortable pick, as right now you can already see they're doing a lot better than what we have seen on the more coordination-based picks. And actually, the lead is flickering to the blue side. We haven't seen that since, I believe, one of our wildcard picks, I think. But Aero now just a bit away from actually snagging this lead, but it's just DarkMew's accuracy is just slightly better than Aero's here, but nothing too much to really scoff about here, as it's only less than 2,000 points, and we still have a lot of this map left to go. Some shields here, not gonna catch up anybody. A little bit of a burst, no one finding anything on that, and DarkMew right now pulling off a almost 3,000 point lead as Aero is releasing a bit late here. You can tell by that unstable rate. Couple 200s being dropped here as heading into our final third of the map. 99.7 for DarkMew, 99.5 for Aero. And it's looking not so great for Aero right now.
It's just these autopilot sessions left, and I don't think these autopilot sessions. I am wrong as Aero, and we find a miss on DarkMew2. Now Aero is in the lead. He just need to not miss on the transition left. It's the last transition bar. Can he hold on the first? And that is going to be.
Oh my goodness!
He grabbed the point.
What happened?
Second. He scrapped the point the last 10 seconds, and we are back to even place, ladies and gentlemen. 3-3. Aero wins his protection pick. Sonny.
Oh my goodness, bro.
What did we just
witness? What did we just witness here? As Aero pulling off the combo game yet again, winning in their favor, and it is now a best of 3 situation. Oh my goodness. It is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. And Aero pulling off the lifesaver of a century here. That just saved probably their entire tournament run here. And now DarkMew going to opt for Tech 2 now here. Missing.
Was hoping to see technical 3. I want to see the Grace pick, which I do believe it's gonna be very benefit towards DarkMew2. But instead, we're gonna be seeing the more pick the map, and I think technical 3 is gonna get ignored once again. But we'll be on to the shield focus technical pick. And this is the anchor with shield map. A lot of the flows are very rigid, but the hard part is it's about the consistency, as this is consistent for 3 minutes. There are a break, 100 seconds, but after that it suddenly spikes up, and I would say after that break is where the real story of the map starts, and we might see the winner decided on that 10 seconds, after that 100 seconds.
Yeah, and kind of opening up this map already. Aero does pick up an early break, but won't really matter as this just started, but already a bit of a concrete lead by 5,000 points in favor of DarkMew. Once again, nothing really too much, but that could be detrimental in these cases here. But Aero 99.27, managing to recover very well on some of these more staggered releases here. Some of these inverse, some rolling in, as lots of these more staggered releases come raining down, like I mentioned, these shields as well. And DarkMew2's lead actually starting to increase now.
Yeah, surprisingly, that Aero is also struggling quite a lot on some of these, like even denser sections in terms of accuracy, and DarkMew2 is able to build up a lead, and we're gonna be slowly into the break sessions, which I mentioned about very soon. For now, DarkMew2 with a very stable lead, and I think they need at least 2 misses to flicker towards Aero, and this part should not be damaging players' scores by a lot, because the actual meat of the map starts after this break. And we're into the break time now. After this, it's time for the real meat.
And here we go with the final third of the map here. 0.3% of difference between these two players. DarkMew still holding on to that full combo, while Aero not too far behind. But I think if Aero wants any shot to really take a match point situation here, we're gonna have to see a break from DarkMew. But there is still a ton of map left to go for that to happen. So, and as I say that, there's a multiple plethora of breaks there from DarkMew. But then again, 4,000 points in favor of them, and Aero just trades it right back. That will swing the lead by about almost like 10,000 points there. But DarkMew picks up one as well. But I think that was one trade too many on the side of Aero as we head now into our final 6 of the map. 10,000 points in favor of DarkMew as more of these staggered flammed releases really show up here. These shields raining down as the density and physicality just increases here. I don't think there's enough time for Aero to catch up here, And I think this is going to be a match point situation for DarkMew.
Yep, and that's gonna be it. And the hard parts of the map really spice up the difficulty. Both players were looking like very solid for the start of the map, and then once the dance part starts, everyone starts falling off. And we see a couple of misses from both players. I would say DarkMew2 missed twice, and Aero also missed twice, but actually 3 times, 3 misses here from Aero, 2 twice on the dance sessions, and yeah, those depth spike up sessions really kilted Aero's chance of coming back there. Now, last pick here from Aero, and that's going to be Density 1. He's not going to be picking the Grace map, and he's also not going to be picking the another shield physicality check map. So, of course, the most possible pick will be the Broken Drum Stream pick. Sometimes some Broken Drum Stream can be harder to play due to reading, because some players think actually full stream it's easier, which as a player who is not mania, I do not understand. Non-mania player, I do not understand, but that's how it works apparently with some of these players. And this map is very long as well. This map is here. We are here for 3 minutes once again, and absolutely reaching to 3,500 combo will be the dance sessions of the map with no breaks at all.
But also, this is a insane song, an absolute banger. Full Metal Alchemist, made by Machine Girl, and mapped by our fellow streamer over here, Epsilon, absolute legend. And yeah, I mean, this pick, I feel it makes sense for Aero, the last pick of the match, until we either see a elimination or a tiebreaker. And I mean, I believe the last couple picks have done well for Aero, so I feel just as long as they keep their composure, it should be okay.
Yeah, he just need to keep on his FC and cannot be tired about this map. And tiebreaker may actually favor towards Aero as well, because it's quite high in terms of physicality, and DarkMew has been losing some of these high physicality picks, as we saw a miss over there. Aero is going to be building a lead by the combo margin again. 4,000 points is the first time we see an actual solid lead from Aero, and it's not scrapping the lead by last second. Looking very well. Aero may bring it to a tiebreaker once again, but we still have way longer of the map left. We are only halfway through.
There is still a lot of map left to go, and also DarkMew has been doing a steady recovery on the accuracy here. And I feel if they can bump that accuracy up to above what Aero has, that should be enough to maybe swing this lead in favor of DarkMew. But there is still a ton of map left to go, like you mentioned. And all it takes is one break off the side of Aero as well, and that lead immediately switches over to DarkMew. But I mean, we only have a third of the map left to go, and as this map continues to go, we're actually seeing DarkMew drop accuracy more. It's now a 10th of a percentage of difference between these two players. And heading into our final quarter now, Aero starting to deplete that accuracy just a tiny bit. The score lead does start to shrink, but not by much. We're going to have to see something detrimental pretty soon, or else we are going to go see a tiebreaker situation. But I mean, oh man, I don't want to say anything just to jinx anything.
I'm pretty sure that's it, especially seemingly Aero is the one with the higher mechanics, and the mechanics wins on the mechanical pick after all. Gonna be FCing the final pick of his own, Density 1, and he is gonna be secure the 4th point. And what a way to get into the TB. And I would say both players on the general for chat probably gonna be sweating in buckets, especially Aero saying that, oh, I'm gonna get swapped, and he is not getting swapped, and he is here to play the tiebreaker, especially the map tiebreaker, high physicality, and who has been winning the high physicality maps, and who has been winning the wildcards. It's Aero. And I would say, what a perfect map for him to possibly upset that match.
Yeah, and it is not over yet for either of these players because it's now TB time, everybody. And here we go with our tiebreaker. Aero's second tiebreaker in a row. They went up against Shadow GM in the tiebreaker with MSG. And now going again against DarkMew2. It all comes down to this. Their tournament lives are on the line here, as this is a loser's bracket match. So the loser goes home, and the winner moves on to their conditional match.
And yeah, hopefully it works out well for DarkMew2. I do believe he should be the one that has benefit, but he is not winning any of these wildcard picks and any of these density picks today, and this is usually what tiebreaker is about, 200 BPM. There's a lot of shield requirement though, and I would say those definitely benefits DarkMew2. Aero has been missing on shield basically for the entire map and releases, and some of those shields requirement in this map being 200 BPM, a lot higher BPM than every other shields picks in this pool so far, and could definitely trip up arrows in that regard. And after a whole level above the rest of the pool, it's about who has a higher mechanics and who will be the one that survive to the final, to the quarterfinals weekend. Not quarterfinals weekend, actually the next match in the round of 16. We will be getting into top 32 starting here, final map of the match.
Yeah, and here we go. There's no turning back for these players now. Their fate has been sealed, and here we go with our tiebreaker. It's all down to this: 8 points in just accumulated, and the 9th is going to be in one of these players' hands. And here we go.
At the start, we'll be getting into some density with some shield as well, and density has been arrows up of cake for the entire match, and he once again gonna be the one in the lead because of the shield, and also the density has been causing DarkMew2 a lot of trouble in terms of accuracy and combo, and Aero is now in the lead.
Oh my goodness, as yeah, Aero in a solid lead by 2,000 points with just those breaks off DarkMew. This is physical enough for Aero, and like I said, physicality is what Aero specializes in. So, I mean, as long as Aero just continues on this path, there is still 3/4 of the map left to go. So nothing yet, but oh my goodness, this is a tight lead right now. And Aero finds a combo break. I think 600 points in their favor, but DarkMew trades it back, so it's not gonna matter.
These dance maps are Aero's bread and butter, and he has been winning all of these dance wildcard maps. As we do have a bit of a tactical session after, because we're going to be having into a BPM change to 150 BPM. I would say that definitely benefits DarkMew2, as a 1/3 session is going to be starting anytime soon. So Aero should be building as strong as a lead as possible, because now we're going to be transitioning to the sessions where it favors DarkMew2.
Yeah, and as we kind of wind down here, it is now a 1/100th of a percentage of difference, and it is just off of pure miscounts right now, as Aero does have that combo lead, but not by much. Not anymore. I just cursed them. No,
yeah,
I didn't mean it.
Like I mentioned, we transition to a sessions that I would say benefits DarkMew2 a bit more technical side of things over here, especially the BPM has been slowing down to 150 with some dumps here left and right, and this is the sessions that we quite a bit more release, but we do see DarkMew2 rates a bit of a miss though on some of these dancer sessions as well, and he is missing left and right, so does Aero. Everyone's trading in, but Aero is missed a bit less, and he is built up around 4,000 points lead. This match is so close.
You can't keep getting this! DarkMew is trying so hard, but I think that stamina component is really starting to get the best of them. as Aero is managing to keep these combos up. But right now, even with those misses coming full circle in this section, Aero 8,000 points in their favor, in with the final third of the map now, and oh boy, it's gonna come down to this.
And we are speeding up back to 200 BPM sessions. We do have a bit of a density left, and it's not looking good for DarkMew2. It's once again Aero's bread and butter in the final part of the map, and he's holding a 7,000 points lead as well, holding very strong in all of the density maps so far at 1,000 combo. And he might be the tiebreaker king. He does find a break though. Let's trade it back to DarkMew2.
Yeah, and as we head into a very dense section here, one of the last we have in this map, because it goes on for quite a bit here. These players are relatively tied in act. It's just Aero needs to find a handful of breaks if they want to stay alive here, or I mean, if they want to swing this lead over to DarkMew. But that lead is starting to shrink. Hold on a second. Less than 2,000 points now, heading to the final quarter. There's another break that leads to switch over to DarkMew now, as it is now DarkMew. They need to hold on. They can't afford any more breaks as we head into our final break of the map. And here we go, final dense section, and DarkMew, there's a break.
I am on the edge of my seat. We do see a break from DarkMew2. I do believe Aero's going to bring it back because the combo lead he has. We have the final 10 sections left. It's still anyone's game. It's based on can anyone holding the last 10% of the map. They cannot miss anymore. We do see Aero dropping around 200.
Aero dropped the 200
to DarkMew2. Oh my god.
And I think it's DarkMew in the end, but I think it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's not over until that playfield disappears. And Aero finds a slider break to add insult to injury. DarkMew is going into the ending of this map with 3,000 points of favor. 4,000 now. And ladies and gentlemen, the legendary run of Aero unfortunately comes to an end here. As, oh my goodness, I think we both almost suffered a heart attack watching this match. But unfortunately, the legendary run of Aero is over, and DarkMew has sealed this match 5-4 in such a crazy fashion.
Oh my god, I was like, wait, hold on, there's one more burst left. DarkMew2 just need to hold it on, and oh my god, and thankfully he hold on the last part and keep his lead, or we would have been a crazy upset for Aero. But yeah, what a match for these two. And I would say Aero definitely put up a fight. He was doing very well in the tiebreaker, only dropping by a lot in that transition sessions to 1/3. And after the last sessions, where I would say both players are really tired, that we do see Aero starting to drop on some of the rest sessions, which is very unfortunate. And I would say that those two parts definitely give the lead to DarkMew2. And Sonny, despite this seed difference, what did we witness? What did we witness? Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, with the seed differential, I think the moral of the story here is don't judge a match just based off its seeding, because, I mean, we have seen the upset before from Aero, and we almost saw it again here, but unfortunately, we won't be seeing any more, as they put up one hell of an effort, but unfortunately, not enough for DarkMew. But with that, that will wrap up this match. And for DarkMew's opponent, it's actually going to be Parasol Tree. That is going to be this is a frightening losers bracket match up ahead for DarkMew. They will go up against Parasol Tree, and then after that, if they win that match, Foa Melt is waiting for them in the losers quarterfinals. But oh my goodness,
he has so many Chinese.
I know.
So many Chinese waiting for him. Oh my god.
But yeah, that was a match and a half. But for now, oh my goodness, I think we all need to take a breather after that match. Yongin, do you have anything else to close off the stream here?
That was a really close match. I was gonna say Parasol Tree, yeah, good luck. This guy is an absolute monster, but he has been dropping, I would say, some unfortunate scores left and right. Possibly not because of not the best play after all in terms of ratio. He has been dropping a lot of scores left and right and some misses as well, so it's not particularly impossible for DarkMew2 to scrap that match, but yeah, he will have another extremely tough match and maybe into tiebreakers after all. And don't let the hype stop, because we're gonna be having another 2 matches in a row at 17 UTC, which is gonna be 50 minutes later. Lalito 898 crazy nickname, and on the other side we do have Min-H23 versus Kyo Buck.
Yeah, those are going to be some crazy matches, but for now, I think we can wrap a bow on this already insane match. I've been Arasani commentating along with Youngin, and we will see you all in just roughly 15 minutes for these next set of matches. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.